Welcome back to Wrestling Rundown. You just gonna sit there quietly?
I was waiting for my cue.
Cue.
What's my line?
Should we start over?
You messed it up. You were supposed to do two guys a podcast. And
No, this is just Wrestling Rundown. Remember, we don't do that for Wrestling Rundown.
Can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
Nobody listens to the Wrestling Rundown.
Are you serious?
I'm going by the Facebook page.
No, the Facebook page. No one. We haven't talked about the Facebook page in a long time, actually. So people probably don't know about the Facebook page.
I still put stuff on there every now and then.
I know, but we get a lot of listens.
Okay, so the thing is, we've never discussed how we were going to come into the Wrestling Rundown.
Yeah, we never really did. But you know what? Let's.
We'll discuss that and then we'll do it next time. Unless you have an idea right now.
No, we'll do it next time because, dude, WrestleMania has come and gone. We're back to the new countdown for next year's WrestleMania. Should we start, or do we wait till Royal Rumble?
I'll wait till Survivor Series.
Survivor Series, okay. So WrestleMania has come and gone, and I'm happy and not happy with it.
My happy and not happy numerical form is 6.5 out of 10.
6.5 out of 10. I could, I'll agree with you there. It's about 6.5.
Potential was a 12 out of 10.
God, the potential of all these matches: Triple H versus Sting, Taker versus Bray Wyatt,
the Divas match. Hashtag match. Give Divas a chance.
Orton finally turning on Seth Rollins after his comeback, and not the whole story there. The
Andre the Giant Battle Royal not being a part of WrestleMania.
Put on the pre-show. The main event.
Once again, what people complain about, tag team, it gets pushed to the pre-show.
The World Heavyweight Champion, the United States Champion. This was shaping up to be one of the biggest manias in a long time.
And the reason I would say that is because not one of these matches was like, I wasn't expecting like 5-star amazing, kind of like Austin versus Rock or Triple H versus Undertaker, but every single one had like a 4 and above like expectations.
Exactly. This Mania for me, I was going into saying I don't know which match is going to steal the show. I can't figure out which match is going to be the match that just blows it over.
Right. Because either a match was going to steal the show by like the ability, like the performance put on, or it was going to steal the show by the story that was told, or it was going to steal the show
last year, we were like, okay, Triple H versus Daniel Bryan, that could steal the show. If Daniel Bryan wins that match, okay, it's going to be Daniel Bryan versus Randy Orton versus Batista. What's going to happen there? That could be a huge one. Don't forget Taker versus Lesnar. That could be a huge... last year, there were several matches that you're like, okay, one of these matches is going to be the match that just steals it all. This year, you honestly did not know which match it could have been. It could have been any of the matches, in all honesty. Mm-hmm. And...
Well, seeing as how I heard a rumor that they weren't going to put the Divas match on WrestleMania.
I know that was the story. Originally, they were planning on keeping the Andre the Giant Battle Royale on WrestleMania and moving the Divas match to the pre-show. But hashtag Give Divas a Chance showed up again.
That's what we're speculating. Honestly, if you ask me, I would have rather seen the Divas match over the Battle Royale. Don't get me wrong, the Battle Royale is awesome. It's a nice way to... It's kind of like a King of the Ring kind of thing.
It was a good way to bring in, give more superstars on the show.
And to start... elevating another superstar. It's kind of like a Royal Rumble without a Royal Rumble victory.
Exactly. Although last year they kind of dropped the ball with Cesaro a little bit after he won it.
Yeah, he should have kept his mouth shut, though.
True. Let Paul Heyman do some more talking for him, right?
Well, he should have kept his mouth shut. He shouldn't have said what he said. It's kind of like if you have somebody... If you have somebody at your job and you taking them under your wing, they could be the next... Steve Jobs, right?
Yeah.
But if he just keeps running his fucking mouth, are you still going to take him under your wing?
No, hell no.
Exactly. That's kind of what Cesaro did.
Yeah, that's true.
Shut up.
But anyway, this WrestleMania for me, I think myself and most other wrestling fans out there, you guys can agree or disagree, of course, had high expectations, just like almost through the roof expectations.
And I wasn't disappointed. I was just not given, as a fickle fan, as we all are, we just weren't given everything that we wanted.
You know, and seeing that our latest motto, of course, is to bring back kayfabe, we look for the story that's being told in all these matches.
Right. So if someone gets rolled up and they pull their tights and it's a heavyweight, if it's a 1, 2, 3, it's kayfabe.
Exactly. It happens. You know, but the lack of stories being told in these matches, I think, is what hampered these matches from hitting their true potential.
Definitely.
Let's start with the Intercontinental title match, the ladder match. Which,
well, we are bringing back kayfabe, but we will tell you what we saw wrong with it in reality era mode.
So
my first thing was the fact that Wade Barrett wasn't either the first person in or the last person in. He was the second person.
Was he second or third?
Second. They decided to have Daniel Bryan.
Daniel Bryan was the first. Right. Which, of course, you want to get the crowd kind of pumped up. You know, what better person to get
I mean, they're already pumped that they're at WrestleMania, the show starting. Why not either have the Intercontinental Champion be the last person in or the first person in?
I think I'd have preferred him being the last person in.
Exactly. You know, he's the champion.
Exactly. You know, bring out Daniel Bryan first. Maybe right before you bring out Wade Barrett, bring out Dean Ambrose. You know, just switch that up a little bit. But from there, the match itself was...
It was good.
It was good.
But to me, it suffered from the same thing that happens with all ladder matches with more than one person. If somebody gets hit with a ladder and they fall down, don't they get back up like 30 seconds later and start fighting again?
Yeah.
When it comes to this, and I understand why. Somebody gets hit with a ladder, they're down for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And magically they come back up to get into a
Although Ziggler did get hit off one ladder and came back up pretty fast to try and stop Daniel Bryan towards the end there. I mean,
the inconsistency of it all, you know?
Yeah, I mean, the match itself, it was good, it wasn't great, and it wasn't bad.
I don't think there was enough spots in the match.
Yeah.
I don't think it was enough. I don't think it was enough time.
I honestly felt like they kind of played it safe a little bit with this ladder match. Maybe once again, we're this is speculation on our behalf. Maybe they're, you know, we always talk about what's the payoff down the line. Maybe they want to make sure these guys are kind of healthy moving forward for the next couple months. Remember, Extreme Rules is right around the corner already. Mm-hmm. You know, maybe we're going to see something big happen there.
I can already see Ziggler and Bryan.
Exactly. The match they had on Raw after WrestleMania was just unbelievable. You and that Hunger Games, dude. But, I mean, that ladder match had a couple spots. I did find it a little cheesy, the whole Stardust part where he pulls out his bedazzled ladder.
I don't think that was cheesy. When somebody can bring in an item that's specific to them, it's kind of awesome because Triple H and his sledgehammer, right?
Yeah. Sting in his baseball bat.
Remember when Big Show?
Oh, the humongous ladder that he pulled out.
And remember in that chairs match he had, it was like a ridiculously large chair.
It was like a double steel chair. Yeah, okay, I guess that makes some sense. But overall, that ladder match, to me, it just feel like they played it safe. You know, they didn't want to do too much, but at the same time, they kind of want to give fans a little bit of something. Dean Ambrose probably took the nastiest bump of the night with that power bomb through the ladder. I mean, that was probably one of the... Oh, I mean, did you see how he got folded up after he hit the ladder?
Dude, that ladder broke in half.
And then he got broken in half.
Kayfabe style? Yeah. He got effed up.
I mean, that was just brutal. I did like how Wade Barrett hitting the 3 bull hammers. That was
I think he had like 5 of them.
Was it 5? I lost. All I know is that the first one I think was Ziggler. He pulls Ziggler off the ladder and hits him with it. I was like, oh, that's gotta hurt. And then I think he got Stardust as well, and I think Daniel Bryan got him with the running knee. Yeah, Bryan hit him with the running knee. I guess the knee beats the bullhammer. But
well, it's kind of like when Big Show's punch beat Sheamus's bro kick on SmackDown.
I mean, Big Show's got a big arm, man.
Really? The big arm that you once discredited compared to the Superman punch?
Yeah.
Okay. So overall, for me, that match, it was good. Don't get me wrong. All ladder matches are good. Yeah. I just wish there would have been more spots. And I understand. I'm being a fickle fan. I'm asking for a lot. But then again, it's these.
It's
people,
WrestleMania.
It's WrestleMania, but I also understand that it's these people's.
It's their livelihood. It's their health and lives. We got to be understanding. Speaking of spots, the RKO, the curb stomp to RKO.
It was quite innovative. It was some. You know what? And I think to myself every now and then, I wonder what's going to be the next amazing RKO.
You know,
because he's done it all. I mean, the only thing he hasn't done is a RKO through the roof of the Hell in a Cell.
Well, Hell in a Cell is this year
through
again.
A table.
Has he done it through a table? Yeah, he's done it on the announce table. I mean, does that count?
Well, no. I'm saying like on top of a Hell in a Cell, through the roof, through a table.
Oh, man. Well,
he's also done RKOs off of a ladder.
So he's got a year to plan this out for Hell in a Cell. Well, not a whole year, but some months. Let's see what happens at Hell in a Cell.
I don't think it's up to him.
I mean, that will be. I'll be kind of interested to see if he tries to pull off a RKO on top of the Hell in a Cell and goes through. I don't think they'll do it because.
What if Foley comes back?
One more match.
What if he comes back and goes like 3 more matches? Because I'll probably lose the first 2.
Didn't he even try the RKO on top of thumbtacks and Foley pushed him off like some years, like way back when he was with Evolution and stuff?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Oh, remember his back was just filled with thumbtacks.
I don't know how they do that.
But anyway, the match between Rollins and Orton, that was a solid match.
That was the most solid wrestling match on the card.
It was well done. It actually, it showed Randy Orton trying to, he wants his vengeance on him. He almost went for the punt. I mean,
and Seth Rollins did an amazing job of hanging in there with Orton.
Oh yeah.
The only, it's not a problem I had with the match. It's just, it was the best executed. It was the best pure match on the card. It was just the least entertaining.
Yeah, it wasn't highly athletic, highly contested. I think if there was something on the line a little bit more, it would have put more behind the match. But it was
or if they would have been yelling at each other.
Yeah,
it's like, you think you can take me out? I'm the future.
Yeah, there wasn't any of that. But then again, of course, we all know what that's set up for later in the night. Actually, the story going around is that Rollins apparently did not find out he was going to cash in the Money in the Bank until about halfway through the show. So, going into WrestleMania, either Lesnar or Reigns was walking out the title. Halfway through the show,
we'll get to that.
We'll get to that. Sting. So I mean that was a good match. Then came the match that probably told one of the better stories of the night: Sting versus Triple H.
Right.
Which turned out into DX versus NWO. Which pretty much
would never happen.
Which
and people can complain that there's these old farts coming out. I don't care. I don't care.
And the best part about it wasn't just DX as in Triple H's DX. It was DX. It was Triple H's DX, which was the Outlaws, right? I don't know. For some reason, I'm thinking Outsiders. I'm like, no, that's
the
WCW.
New Age Outlaws.
Yeah, the New Age Outlaws, X-Pac, Triple H, and Shawn Michaels.
I did not see that coming.
That Shawn Michaels' sweet shit music Sting. I don't think anyone saw that coming, except for the people in the arena that saw HBK get into the ring and
No, according to JBO, it was HB Shizzle.
HB Shizzle. But I mean that right there was, having Nash and Hogan and Hall come out and give Sting the baseball bat, Triple H with the sledgehammer. The whole story that they told was
and like you said, they really did tell a story. There were times in the match where it was moving a little slow.
Yeah.
But even when it was moving slow, the story was being told, and people were getting engrossed in it, and people were just so into it.
And this is where the commentators played a big part, I think. JBL did a pretty good job of trying to keep people on the whole side of WCW versus WWF type of thing, JBL, I'll give him that. He did keep you, kind of in that mentality, and then when DX came out, NWO came out, just enforced it even more. It just, the story, it was a great overall story from what was going on inside the ring, what was going on outside the ring, with the commentators, everything came together, it just meshed. It was well done.
Right. And they did a really good job of making Sting look legit in the match. Now, could a 50-something-year-old man legitimately take out a 40-something-year-old man? And when I say that, I mean Sting versus Triple H. Probably not. But if you're going to tell the story and it's Sting's first WrestleMania, and you're going to give them Sting from back in the day, it happened the way it was supposed to happen.
Exactly.
You know?
My only, and you actually said this as well, your only gripe was Sting's entrance.
I don't like his theme song,
and I kind of agree with you there a little bit.
And I also don't like. I only like black and white Sting. I don't like when he has red thrown in there.
Oh, the red coat that he came out with. Yeah, it was like you should have just kept the black coat on. It would have been so much better. Yeah, I agree with you there. But once again, fickle fans picking on something very small, nothing major.
It is what it is.
But the match quality, commentating, everything together, it was well done, well put together. I think that's probably. It's not my best match of the night, though. That's up there. Number 2 for me, actually.
Yeah. Story told, number 1.
Yeah, story told, number 1. Overall match and everything, it's number 2. And the reason why it's so high for me is because of the story.
Yeah.
And once
because it was a legit story.
Exactly.
I mean, not only was it Triple H versus Sting, not only was it WCW versus WWE, not only was it
DX versus NWO. I mean, it was everything. You got everything you could ask for in that match. What else? What was after that?
Hashtag give Divas a chance.
Oh yeah, give Divas a chance. You didn't like the match because you didn't think it was.
I think it felt rushed to me.
Even though it was what 10 minutes long, I think. Roughly about 10 minutes long.
With the talent in the ring,
it could have been
Paige
longer.
And AJ, and with Nikki getting better, and with Brie already being as good as she is, and the fact that they didn't show any, because like what's really going on with Brie and Nikki? I mean, I don't know. Like,
I'm still waiting to find out what happened between their feud that started back at what was it, SummerSlam? Yeah. Well, I'm still trying to figure out when we're gonna get the payoff for that. I mean, we're here going into Extreme Rules, and you know what's gonna happen? They're setting up for another SummerSlam match between them. Watch, they're setting up for SummerSlam. Bella's gonna go against each other. Too far?
They have completely thrown that feud down the drain.
I don't know. It looks like they're kind of bringing it back, though.
Well, okay, with Ryan leaving, being injured and all.
Yeah.
I understand they needed something to do with Brie,
mm-hmm.
but could you not do something else with her? Like, I think one thing that could have been cool would have been like, because they do the reality thing with
Total Divas,
right? Total Divas, and with Brian and Brie, but they didn't do it with Nikki and John.
Yeah.
Well, why not have
Nikki get upset about that? Maybe,
or maybe like John Cena being cool with Brie in the back, and they're like a little sisterly thing, or something, just to continue the rivalry. Even if it would have been as dumb as Nikki thinking that Brie is going after John.
Exactly. But I have no idea what happened there. It looks like they're bringing it back. Maybe they're not. You never know. Maybe they're setting up for a Fatal 4-Way match with the Bellas and Paige and AJ.
It's over. That was a WrestleMania payoff moment.
That should have been a WrestleMania match. I agree with you. That should have been the match instead of the tag team match. But we got the tag team match. It is what it is.
And what else? I mean, remember how I told you certain things have to happen at WrestleMania for it to mean the most.
Yeah.
Like Benoit winning the title.
Yeah.
That's why nobody went crazy for Eddie Guerrero winning the title.
Because he wanted No Way Out, right?
Yeah, he wanted a No Way Out.
Yeah.
And his match wasn't the last match at WrestleMania 20. But if he would have won that title at WrestleMania 20,
it would have been bigger.
That roof would have been blown.
Oh, yeah.
And because look at what happened at the end when Eddie Guerrero came out.
Do you think the crowd would have been able to handle Eddie Guerrero and Benoit winning the titles that the same night?
I think they would have deserved it. Madison Square Garden, 20 years.
I think people would have had a heart attack, dude. Can you imagine an old man witnessing both Eddie Guerrero and Chris Benoit?
Well, the old man would have been saying, well, that's not how they did it back in my day. So that's kind of how we are, We like CM Punk and Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
We don't really care too much about Macho Man and Hulk Hogan, but...
And people are going to hear us say this and be like, how do you not like Macho Man and Hulk Hogan? Okay.
Oh, we like them.
We like them.
It's just we didn't grow up in that generation.
I'll put you like this. Honestly, you go back to some of Hulk Hogan's matches, they're boring as hell. And that's not taking away anything from him. I mean...
Yeah, because Hulk Hogan is...
He if it wasn't for Hulk Hogan, I don't think WWE would be where it is right now.
No.
I don't think it would be. But honestly, I mean, you look at some of the matches that they had back then. I mean, it really wasn't that
so
entertaining.
exciting. But I guess
the stories were better, I think.
Well, but then again, we're in a way we can only compare it to what we've seen, and we've seen some crazy stuff.
Yeah,
that's kind of how when CM Punk was talking about being champion for the longest.
Yeah,
and he was like, well, of course, Bruno Sammartino had a longer reign when you're only having 2 matches per month.
Yeah, but honestly, when you think back to it, when you have a championship, when you have a champion that's champion for what was it, God, 1,200 and something days. I honestly think I'll get tired of that after a while. I think that'd be boring and dull, and
because even though back then, yes, it was still kayfabe, it was a little bit more reality because people love Bruno Sammartino, people love Hulk Hogan. People love John Cena, but you can't. How are you going to elevate anybody else? And that's another thing. Back then, there was a lot of good people, but for some reason, people have this misconception that Ric Flair, Roddy Piper, Hulk Hogan, all these guys were in the same industry. I mean, the same industry.
You gotta
remember, they were in the same.
In reality, a lot of these guys were in different territories at first. Before WWF came along and started buying up all these territories and bringing them together.
Yeah, because look at Dusty Rhodes. He was larger than life before he even got to WWE.
Exactly.
Look at Ric Flair.
Ric Flair was the man in the NWA. I mean, that was the guy.
The Freebirds and the Von Erichs and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
Exactly. But it's only when Vince McMahon Sr. started buying up all the territories and everything. Then you
just buying people.
Exactly. Did they start coming together, and then you start realizing, okay, this guy's bigger than this guy's better than this guy, so on and so forth. It's kind of, I guess, to break it down, it'd be like if WWE was to break up and have a bunch of indies all over the independent circuits, independent wrestling promotions all over the place, and then maybe we only see Daniel Bryan once every blue moon or something like that. It'd be kind of like that. But luckily, we don't have to worry about that. We get to see all these guys together.
Yeah, but it's always going to go back to how fickle we are, because no matter, we can get every single thing that we want, we'll still find something to bitch.
Oh yeah, that is true. It's WWE Universe, dude. This is how we are. Yeah. But you mentioned people like John Cena and people don't like John Cena just now. This is my match of the night: John Cena versus Rusev for the United States Championship.
I wouldn't say that match was the match of the night, but I would say that match meant the most as far as the victory.
True. And the reason why this is my match of the night is good story. It wasn't great. It was a good story.
I think it was a great story.
I think it could have been a little bit better, but I would like to see a better entrance from John Cena. That's just me being picky, though. Once again, it's fickle fans picking on something really stupid.
I mean, it is WrestleMania, so
okay, you give Rusev a freaking tank to enter.
Yeah, but you're trying to build a guy up, though.
I understand that. Give John Cena something. Give him a machine gun.
Like parachute out of a fighter pilot.
They should have had him come out like Rambo. Give him something.
He's not the Marine anymore.
Just give him something. But anyway, so it was a good story, good match. Saw a stunner. Saw a springboard stunner, and it was. Granted, it was a little funky ending with Lana getting knocked off and then the attitude adjustment. It was a little funky there, but overall, it was well done.
I think it ended the way it should have ended, but I think it should have ended with an STFU or maybe.
I would have liked to see maybe 2 attitude adjustments.
Yeah. Or an attitude adjustment leading into an STFU.
Yeah, something like that would have been fine. It seemed a little odd that it felt a little rushed almost. It was weird. It was a weird ending, but it was good overall.
Definitely. I mean,
it was
Cena winning. It means a lot. 1, it brings legitimacy back to the title.
Oh yeah.
2, it legitimizes Cena a little bit more.
And it actually does put Rusev up there still. Like they did not bury Rusev. They kept him. He had Cena locked into the accolades. He had him locked in.
And kind of how you say that the only way you can see certain people losing is if they get screwed over.
Yeah.
This is another way I can see people losing is if they accidentally run into their manager.
Exactly.
Or their manager gets involved.
Exactly. Somehow. Maybe it was a well done match. Lana played her part perfectly fine. First she threw her shoe in the ring. That whole sequence, which once again, the part that we had to go back and watch a couple of times was The springboard stunner.
That was amazing.
I think that's more than 5 moves that John Cena has now.
If you guys remember on the last Wrestling Rundown podcast, we named 8 or 9 moves. So
just add another one. I think we're gonna start keeping a track of all of John Cena's moves that he's done. We got to throw the springboard stunner on there now. I mean that.
I've never seen anybody do it before.
I mean, I've seen a stunner. I've seen The Rock do a stunner. But I've seen Vince McMahon do a stunner.
Really?
Vince McMahon's done a stunner.
Didn't know that.
Yeah. Has Shane O'Mac done a stunner? I don't think Shane O'Mac's done a stunner. But yeah. But I've never seen.
You're forgetting Eugene.
Oh yeah, the Eugene stunner. I can't forget about the Eugene stunner. But I've never seen anyone do a springboard stunner.
That was a first for me. I don't even think Mysterio would have thought about doing that.
And he actually connected pretty well on it too. I mean, you saw him reach back and I wonder if he had to like reach out to Austin and be like, "Can I please use your stunner?" And he's like, "No." He's like, "What if I modify it and do something a little bit different?" He's like, "All right, go ahead."
I could see that happen.
That'd be interesting to see. That'd have been a fun conversation, wouldn't it? So moving on from that match, what was after that? We had
was it Wyatt and Undertaker?
Wyatt, I think the biggest, most disappointing match for me.
Only because of the lack of the story. I could have done with the match and even the time that it was given.
It was just. It felt there was no. It was like a match that was just thrown out there for no reason whatsoever. There was no story. It didn't seem. It just didn't feel. You didn't feel the build that was built. The 2-month build up that Bray Wyatt did on the mic.
Yeah.
It just didn't feel it. Me, I said it was too damn bright for them to come out and have that match, but I guess that for me, Undertaker, I expect darkness. I want to see darkness. I want to see all the lights, the lightning, all that fun stuff. There was none of that. It was just brightness and Taker and Bray Wyatt bringing alive scarecrows that everyone saw walk out on the stage. And
they did the best they could. Yeah.
The mood was not set from the start like it normally is with a Taker match. You didn't have the same awe-inspiring feel. And especially, I think Lesnar beating Taker last year kind of also took away from this match. Because you no longer have to worry about the streak being beaten or anything like that. You don't have to worry about, is it going to be a close match where Wyatt could possibly end the streak? Or, there was none of that anymore. It was just Bray Wyatt saying he's the new face of fear, and
how is he going to legitimize what he's saying
exactly
to the Undertaker?
And the closest part I saw to a story being told in this match was when Bray Wyatt was doing his crab walk and Taker did the Dead Man Rise, and you just saw Wyatt's eyes, just like you saw fear in his eyes a little bit. And I mean, that was the closest thing I saw to a story being told.
Same here.
I mean, that match just was not there.
And like I said, even with the time it was given, I still think it was a decent match. But I mean, Wyatt was injured.
Yeah, apparently he hurt his ankle warming up for the match earlier in the day. It sucks. Happens, but it sucks. You only wonder what could have happened. What could have been if he was 100%. Outside of that, though, I guess there's not much else we could ask for, unfortunately.
It is what it is. Maybe one more tombstone would have been cool.
Yeah. But then we move forward to the saving grace of the pay-per-view, of the show.
Right.
Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, title on the line, the Beast versus a next victim, so to say. F5 within 30 seconds? Just an F5 within 30 seconds.
Just goes to show you how much of a monster Lesnar is.
Let's fast forward to Lesnar being shoved into the ring post, because pretty much before that it was just suplex, 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 or as Lesnar said, suplex city, bitch.
Suplex City, population, you.
Roman, was John Cena like the guy that pioneered Suplex City, and
people still keep talking about it to this day.
So I guess it'll be population 2 now, right? Cena and Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
So I wonder who's going to... I guess Seth Rollins is a little bit lucky right now, seeing that he seems to be immune to the German suplex. I mean, that boy's found many ways to escape the German suplexes. Almost got F5, though.
Yeah.
Almost got F5. But this is what we were talking about earlier. So, according to the story, Seth Rollins was not aware that he was going to win the title until right around the halfway mark of WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
So, can you picture being in his shoe? You show up at WrestleMania, you're like, all right, I'm going to have a match with Randy Orton, then I'm going to just kick back and relax and watch the rest of the show.
Right.
Then about hour after your match, Vince McMahon comes up and goes, hey, you're going to win the belt tonight, buddy. I already took my shower and got on my ring gear, dude. But, so anyway... Lesnar gets hit with what? You said it was 3 Superman punches,
2 spears.
Was it 2 or 3 spears?
2.
No, because the third one was when Rollins was about to get F5'd. So it was 3 spears. 3 spears total. And a curb stomp.
Yeah.
Rolled out of the ring, and then Roman Reigns gets hit with a curb stomp for the 1, 2, 3. And there it is, Seth Rollins, the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Must say, best way to get the belt off of Lesnar, keep the fans happy, and still, in a sense, kind of keep Roman Reigns strong in the fact that he got his ass handed to him by Lesnar for a good 20 minutes.
He's stuck in there, though.
I mean, he's stuck in there. He was laughing at Lesnar, telling him to come on and everything. He got hit with 4 F5s or something like that. I think it was 4.
4.
Plus a curb stomp. Plus, God knows how many suplexes. You know what? They kept him strong. They kept Lesnar strong, and they got the belt off of Lesnar.
Yeah.
And they kept the fans happy by doing that, too.
And you kind of buried Reigns a little bit.
You kind of brought him back down a little bit from the level that they kind of pushed him to.
Right. Especially because people didn't want to see Lesnar lose,
exactly.
So why not take it from
why not give it to Reigns? But now you build an interesting path. Lesnar didn't lose, technically. So he of course wants his title back. Reigns is probably going to feel like he was cheated out of his title match. So he's coming for Seth Rollins too. I've noticed a pattern. Seth Rollins keeps taking people off. I mean, it's just like, first it was Cena and Lesnar. No, the first was Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns. Then it moved on to Cena and Lesnar. Now it's back. Somehow Lesnar's still involved with this, so it's Lesnar and Reigns now. Sooner or later, he's gonna get something. Now, what do you think going forward with Seth Rollins as champion for right now? How do you feel about that?
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, he's the future of the WWE.
I kind of like his character for how they're doing it. You know, he's the guy hiding behind all the security and everything. You know, he's probably not going to have any clean wins coming up, and it's pretty much going to be cheap wins from here until he loses the title, of course. But I think it's a perfect way to build it up for right now. Him up at least.
Yeah.
You know, his character suits. They tried that. I think they tried it with Randy Orton when they first brought Randy Orton into the Authority. Didn't really work too well.
Right.
With Seth Rollins, though, it seems to be working like perfectly. And I guess it's because he's not as established as Orton was, of course. But yeah, overall, you know what? WrestleMania, 6.5 out of 10. Could have been better. I mean, expectations were through the roof for it. It's just little can be done when every match had such great potential that it just seemed like none of them met the expectations. Guys, tune in next time. This was our WrestleMania recap. See ya.